Yo, what's good? Welcome to the Broken Clock Podcast. I am Jabari. Please, before we get started, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Today, I'm gonna call this NBA Ramble. I don't know if I want to make this like a segment or episode type that I do on here because I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know how I'm doing this and what exact, strategy and logistically how I want to do it, but I'm going to call this NBA Ramble, where I just ramble and rant about the NBA. Opening week for the NBA. Great week basketball wise, like on court basketball wise. It's been great. So exciting. I just been plotting down on the couch and just, melting in it. You know what I'm saying? Just loving this. Been so many good things to talk about. But of course, whenever something great is happening in a sport or just sports in general, like right now, this is the best time for sports. If you're a sports fan, if you're just an all-around sports fan like me, this is the best time for sports. NFL is in full swing. The World Series Game 1 was yesterday. The NBA just started. This is just the best time for sports, man. It's the best weather to me. I'm here today in Atlanta. It's a Saturday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. It's like perfect. The high is 70. There's no clouds. It's a breeze. It's like beautiful. I got like natural light. This is like the best time of year for me, man. And it's not supposed to be any scandal talk right now. It's not supposed to be any drama talk. But before I get into the great NBA basketball we had on court, all the stuff that was going on the last few days, yesterday a bomb hit, an NBA bomb hit, a gambling scandal. A gambling scandal in the NBA, not the first one. Okay. This is kind of interesting to me because growing up, I didn't have stuff like this really. Like growing up when I was in middle school and high school, we didn't have gambling scandals. You know what I mean? We had like PEDs and recreational drugs and always an athlete, something going on with a woman or a group of women or something, but it was never like fixing games or betting. It was never none of this stuff. I would hear about this stuff back in the day. I would always hear about the Sacramento versus the Lakers series. You know what I mean? That stuff I've obviously gone back and done research on too, but this is, the last few years, you know what I mean? The Calvin Ridley getting in trouble with the NFL and getting suspended, allowed back in the NFL. Terry Rozier and, Jonte Porter. This is, new stuff that, is big news when it happened, but like the Jonte Porter stuff is like nobody talks about it no more. You know what I mean? That was crazy. That was really crazy. That never happened when I was growing up in terms of like people getting caught. That never happened. You know what I mean? And Thursday, more than 30 people were indicted in a case involving bets on basketball games and poker games rigged by mafia families. That's the story I woke up to Thursday morning. That's the story. That is just insane. Like that right there, when I read stuff like that, I get mad when every time I go to the movie theater, or it's changed in the last year or two, but for the most part, you go to a movie theater and every movie in there is a remake or a comic book movie or animation. This is a movie right here. This sounds fake to me. This does not sound real. If I saw this on a TV show or a movie, I would go, this is a little exaggerated. Especially when I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not a reporter. I'm not well versed in, like, as soon as you start getting the words like co-conspirator and co-conspirator and redacted, and I don't, all those words, I dropped out of college. All those, I get real, you know what I mean? But there is one, honestly, the only reason I'm talking about this, because there's one hilarious part to this. That's really the only reason I'm talking about this. If this one hilarious part didn't exist in it, then I wouldn't talk about it. But I'm gonna give y'all like the cliff notes and a little bit of research I did. I've been hearing people talk about it. I listened to the Hoop Collective podcast. Bill Simmons obviously talked about it. I can't wait to hear what Pablo Torre has to say about it. This is just crazy, man. This is definitely not something that I'm used to. But like I said, yeah, Damon Jones, Chauncey Billups, and Terry Rozier were the big names Thursday that were across all the headlines of being involved in a gambling ring. It's so deep. There's so many rumors. There's one rumor going around. If you're on deep Twitter, if you're on deep NBA Twitter, like unfortunately I am, there's one rumor going around that I'm not even going to talk about because I've only saw it a couple times and it's so crazy. I didn't even want to dig into it because it just would have been more stuff I got to talk about that I don't. This is not really that fun to talk about except for the one funny part I want to talk about. this ain't really fun to me, man. Like, this is the stuff that people who don't watch the NBA or don't watch basketball, this is what they come to talk to me about. And I'm like, man, there's so much great basketball, though. It's so much great basketball. Like I said, today's Saturday afternoon. Last night was great. I'm going to talk about last night's games. And I'm going to just talk about stuff because I haven't talked about Wemby yet. I almost wore my Victor Wembanyama jersey. Shout out my homie Nosa. He got it for me. He was in San Antonio in May. He got it for me. I was going to wear it, but he fouled out, so I'm not going to wear it, even though he still had a phenomenal game. But I would rather talk basketball, but I am going to talk about this a little bit. Yeah, it's really deep. It's really deep, and I feel like a lot. Obviously, it's always whenever the Feds is involved, they trickle stuff out. And it's obvious. I haven't heard really nobody say this, maybe because it's so obvious, but they obviously waited for the start of the NBA season. They were watching NBC opening night. They watched Michael Jordan sit down with Mike Tirico and like, man, we're gonna bomb the NBA in less than 48 hours. They definitely waited for this. This is what they like. They like the headlines. The Feds like the headlines, man. They're not just about putting people in prison. They're about media too. They market themselves too. Okay, they have commercials now. These federal agencies have commercials now to recruit people. Okay, so the fact that you're seeing, because I see people saying, why do they keep saying that the mafia and the mob is involved, but we keep seeing these high profile black athletes? Because they're high profile. And I personally would like to see the mafia. That would be more entertaining for me to see the mob guys, because when I read you some of the names involved in this, you're not going to believe that these are real people. They sound like a mashup episode of The Wire and The Sopranos. Like, you remember when like Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents did an episode together? Some of these names sound like if The Wire and The Sopranos did that. But I'm already rambling and ranting, but Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups were the two people actively involved in the NBA that were in the Thursday reporting. What Terry Rozier is accused of, like officially, allegedly accused of, is in-game fixing. In-game fixing individually by him, which is a couple different versions of it. One is some of the clips y'all see on the internet. Eventually I'm gonna learn how to put clips in here. So I don't even know if I would put that in there, because I don't like, this is not cool and funny to me. I actually like to believe in sports and like the power of sports and the integrity of sports. Even though I know it's a business and I know it's all about exploitation, I don't like talking about this really. But some of the clips y'all see of Terry Rozier throwing these ridiculous passes, like he's like as a kid playing 2K and he just hit something he ain't supposed to hit, like, or when I play 2K, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's taking these crazy shots and way off, like you're a professional NBA player, like stuff like that. That's one version of it. You know what I mean? To whatever, like he might be turning the ball over because there's an over on his turnovers or whatever. And another version of him fixing the games is him telling whoever, his homeboy, whoever, yo, as of right now, they think I'm playing tonight, but I ain't gonna play tonight. Or I'm gonna play tonight, but after the first quarter, I'm gonna roll my ankle and I'm gonna leave the game. So just bet my unders for the night. Bet my points, rebounds, and assists under, because I'm gonna leave the game after the first quarter. That's dark. That's dark. I know there's so many serious things that go on in the world. There's a lot of crazy things going on. But for a sports fan to know that that's going on is scary. That's crazy. That is a professional NBA player that is being accused of not only fixing games, but quitting on your team. Like, what if you're a player on that team who's like really trying to win? And you have a player on your team doing this? That's crazy, right? And then to get to the Chauncey Billups part, the part that he's officially being accused, or the reporting is he was hosting these high stakes poker games through the mafia, through the mob. And in these poker games, they have rigged cars, rigged car shufflers, X-ray tables, X-ray glasses, like stuff you hear in. So they're remaking Oceans. I think it's gonna be Oceans 14. Matt Damon, George Clooney, and Brad Pitt. They're remaking Oceans. This would sound like a plot in the movie. This is the movie right here. This is Oceans 14 right here. This doesn't sound real. X-ray tables, And I've seen some of the pictures of the cars that with certain glasses you can see through the cards and see if it's a king or ace. It's crazy. You know what I mean? A part of me feels like that's not as serious, like just that. Like you talk about criminals, and obviously it's crazy because this is Chauncey Billups. Like Chauncey Billups is a Hall of Fame basketball player. He's one of the most respected basketball players of my era. Over the last 20, 25 years, he's one of the most respected consummate professionals we have in the NBA. He's one of the faces of that's a professional, great NBA player. Okay. And now this is going to be his legacy. His legacy is going to be this. Unfortunately, this is going to be, regardless of what happens, he could be found innocent of all of this. This is going to be his legacy. He's never going to coach again. He's never going to be in the NBA again. Same with Terry Rozier. It's over for them. You know what I mean? Like Chauncey Billups was on the 2004 Pistons, man. That crushed that. He ended Kobe and Shaq. Like Chauncey Billups won Finals MVP in 2004. Like, but this is his legacy. That's why I don't like talking about this, because when I have kids, I'm not going to talk about this first. I want to talk about him as a player. And he played on the 2009 Denver Nuggets, which is one of me and my Uncle L. That's probably our favorite team together. That's not our team. He's a Knicks fan. I'm a Celtic fan. But I remember we were so mad when the Lakers beat them in Game 6 because we thought the Nuggets were just as good as the Lakers. And Chauncey was on that team. He was a big part of that team. So I just hate that this is what we have to talk about now. You know what I'm saying? And the Damon Jones stuff is similar to the Terry Rozier, but obviously he doesn't play. Damon Jones used to play in the NBA. He played, I don't know how many years he played. He played with the Cavs. Actually, one of the best playoff games of my era is 2006, game 5 or 6, Cavs versus Wizards in DC. Damon Jones hits the game winner in overtime to beat Gilbert Arenas and the Wizards. That's kind of his claim to fame, and he's just been friends with LeBron ever since. He followed LeBron to Miami he ended up being like one of the trainers with the Heat. He's one of the people that's in LeBron's entourage, one of the people in LeBron's clique till this day. Till this day, you'll see LeBron and Damon Jones together. He also, when LeBron went back to Cleveland, he was one of the assistant coaches on that team. And I think this was around like 2017, 2016, 2017. Him and J.R. Smith got into a little fight, and J.R. Smith threw soup at him. That was a great NBA story. But Damon Jones is being accused of similar to the Terry Rozier stuff, but obviously he doesn't play. But it's, LeBron ain't playing tonight. Don't tell nobody, but LeBron ain't playing. They think he playing tonight, but he ain't playing tonight. How do you stop that if you're the NBA? Like, that's the real question about the even the Terry Rozier stuff. How do you stop that? If we're in an era, again, another thing, I keep saying it. So not another thing, but I keep saying it. Like, growing up, I never saw anything about gambling on ESPN, ever, unless it was World Series of Poker. And I never watched that growing up, but I never clicked on ESPN or Fox or CBS and saw anything about gambling. In the last 5 years, that's literally all you see. Any podcast you're listening to, it don't even got to be a sports podcast. If they have gambling or sports books sponsoring their podcast, it's everywhere. They're literally throwing it on you all the time. I allegedly may gamble sometimes. So I'm not active. So that's another reason why I don't want to talk about this, because it's kind of hypocritical for me to say how dark it is and all of this. And I do this. Last night, I won a lot of money. Allegedly. I won money. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird talking about this, man. But it's another thing, I don't have the indictment. I didn't do my research to get the indictment or even get a report on the indictment. But there is something in the indictment that accuses somebody titled Co-Conspirator 8. And one of the descriptions about Co-Conspirator 8 is that he was a former NBA player from the years 1997 to 2014. And in 2021, he became an NBA head coach. That's describing Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups was drafted in 97, retired in 2014. He's been coaching since 2021. Allegedly, that's Chauncey Billups. And in the indictment, it's saying that Chauncey Billups was doing the same thing Damon Jones was doing. But he's the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. I didn't say that, did I? I forgot to say that. Terry Rozier was playing for the Miami Heat. Chauncey Billups is the head coach of the Portland Trail. He's a head coach of the NBA team. And he was accused of doing the same. Him and Terry Rozier and Damon Jones was accused of doing the same thing. Yo, our best two players, Jeremy Grant and Avdia, they're not playing tonight. We haven't reported it yet, but they're not playing tonight. In the NBA, that's more effective than in any other sport. Obviously, if Patrick Mahomes isn't playing for the Chiefs, that's huge. So obviously, like huge star players, but Portland Trailblazers don't have no stars. You know what I mean? But if their two best players aren't playing in a game, that's gonna dramatically affect the game. So if Chauncey Billups is giving out information like that, I mean, allegedly that's insane. You know what I mean? That's insane. Again, co-conspirator 8. Co-conspirator 8, man. That is just weird, man. That is just crazy. And again, Chauncey Billups was seen leaving police custody Friday afternoon, and he was wearing a brown Clutch Sports hoodie. And again, I'm not going to get into the deep, dark rumor conspiracy theory that was on Deep NBA Twitter. I'm not, but Damon Jones, cool with LeBron, obviously tight with Clutch. Chauncey with Clutch. It sounds dark. It sounds like it's really dark. I don't know how bad this is gonna get, and this is not even. I mean, like the NBA, man. Geez, opening week. This is not even talking about the Clipper situation with the aspiration deal. That's a whole nother scandal. That's not actually that serious to me, actually. But it's crazy, man. But my only thing on this, I'm saying this hypocritically. I sound like a hypocrite. I'm somebody who bet on Wendell Carter to go over rebounds last night, allegedly. The whole Jonte Porter thing. Jonte Porter, who was playing for the Raptors at the time, who was Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, who plays for the Nets right now. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jonte Porter, was playing for the Toronto Raptors. I think he was on a two-way contract. He was on a two-way contract, but he was playing. He's like the 12th, 13th man on the team. You shouldn't be able to bet his over-unders, because what he was doing is what Terry Rozier was doing. Yo, bet my unders. I'm going to definitely be playing tonight, but I'm going to play really bad on purpose, or I'm going to sprain my finger. But he's Jonte Porter. Like, should you be able to bet on like, if you could bet on Jonte Porter, yeah, people like Jonte Porter, who's on a two-way contract, like, it's a lot of money to me, but the lifestyle he lived, that might not be a lot of money. I don't know his living situation. He may need the extra money. And again, the mob, the mafia, that's a note I had in here. I didn't know the mafia was still popping like that. Like, the Gambino crime family is involved in this. This is the Gambino crime family, allegedly. That's what? This is insane, man. Like, this is just crazy. But again, I just think the props, like the prop bets on, will this player go over assist or under assist? It just shouldn't. It should be like the top 4 or 5 players on the team. You just shouldn't be able to bet on everybody, because I think it makes it more easy to have stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because they're irrelevant players, right? And it just seems easier to finagle. That's all. And another thing, when you have a player, so the way that, even though Calvin Ridley's a really good player, Terry Rozier was too, but the way these sports books catch on to this stuff is that these sports books, obviously, they don't just have deals with these sports networks. They have deals with the leagues. They had, not deals. Let me not say deals. I don't want to, even though that's what I believe. I'm not allegedly deals, but they have relationships. They're friends with each other. They hang out with each other. You know what I mean? They tip each other off on things. So Jonte Porter, I never knew who he was until this. I didn't know Michael Porter Jr. had brothers. I had no idea he had brothers until this situation happened a couple years ago. And FanDuel or whoever, DraftKings Sportsbook, MGM Sportsbook, they call Adam Silver, they call the NBA and go, yo, Jonte Porter is receiving the most action in the league tonight. He's getting the most money. He's like top 3 in people putting money on him tonight. That's weird. And then it happens like 2-3 weeks in a row. They flag it. And then they start doing investigation. We talking about gangsters, and I ain't even talking about the mob. We talking about the people who run these things. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to talk out of turn, but you know, it's not crazy when you talk about how quickly the league can find out about this. That's not really shocking. The shocking thing is that Terry Rozier got caught for this already. And you guys let him back in the league. Just for the FBI to come out Thursday morning to go, we'd never cleared him. And yesterday was the NBA debut on Amazon, and Adam Silver was getting interviewed by Cassidy Hubbard doing a sideline interview, like middle of the first quarter of the Knicks Celtics game. And Adam kind of looked shook up. He was kind of doing this. He was doing a lot of, he was talking in a different tone. I usually don't hear him talking. He's really, malmarrying the type of guy. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a wild situation on top of the Clipper situation, like I keep saying. But yeah, the funny part about this, man, this is the reason I was like, okay, I'm gonna definitely talk about it. This is what tipped me over to talk about it. The names, y'all won't. I swear to God, I'm not making none of these names up. These are the names that were in the indictment. It was 30 people. We only heard Damon Jones, Terry Rozier, and Chauncey Billups. But these are I can't wait to see pictures of these. Excuse me. I cannot wait to see pictures of these guys. Okay. I'm just gonna name the names. I promise you, I'm not lying. Just remember what I said. These names sound like a mashup episode of The Wire and The Sopranos. These are the names: Spanish G from Uniondale, New York; Flappy Poker from Brooklyn, of the Gambino crime family. Flappy Poker, that's his name. That's what they call him in the street. The Wrestler from Franklin Square, New York; Juice from Scarsdale, New York; Black Tony, Sugar, Albanian Bruce from Jersey, Black Rob, and Pookie. I swear to God, those are the names of the people. Those some of the names. Albanian Bruce. He's not just Bruce. He's Albanian Bruce. It's just hilarious to me. Pookie is guilty allegedly. I promise y'all, Pookie knows everything. Pookie knows every. And Black Rob, rest in peace, Black Rob, man. Rest in peace, bad boy Black Rob, man. Like this is just crazy. This is insane to me, man. But yeah, this is what's going on right now, man. I had to get it out of the way first. I'm gonna get on to my actual NBA ramble, but another quick thing, I did watch the Allen Iverson documentary that Steph Curry did. Got released on Amazon, I think Thursday or maybe yesterday. I watched it yesterday, and I finished the last part today. It was worth watching. I love Allen Iverson. Everybody from my era grew up loving Allen Iverson. So to say Allen Iverson was my favorite player growing up, I'd never say that because everybody says that he was everybody's favorite player. I grew up in Atlanta. Jersey day at school was you either wearing an Allen Iverson jersey or Michael Vick jersey. You know what I mean? And they both from Virginia, which is crazy. But yeah, it was a good documentary. It's definitely worth watching. But whenever people tell the Allen Iverson story, in my opinion, they focus on how rough his life was too much to me. Like for me, like somebody who I'm well versed in how he grew up. I know how crazy it is. I know how crazy the trial was. I want more basketball stuff. Like they didn't talk about Georgetown enough for me. Like they didn't talk about him going up against Ray Allen. They didn't talk about none of that stuff. Him going up against. Didn't he go up against Marbury one time? They didn't talk about none of that. They talked about how he got there and how lit it was for a minute, but they talked about how I forgot his name, taught him the crossover and all of that. But they immediately go to when he gets to the NBA, and as soon as he gets to the NBA, they start talking about all his troubles off the court. And then they immediately go to the 2001 playoffs, and now he in a bunch more drama after that. It's just not enough basketball talk for me. I wanted more basketball talk. So that's really, I would say definitely go watch it. Steph Curry produced a documentary. Steph Curry's company, Unanimous Media. That's the name of it. Unanimous Media, dope name. That's a great name. Unanimous Media, named after him winning unanimous MVP in 2016. That's a great name for a company. Let me go straight to the NBA because I don't want to do this too much longer. I've been going about 24 minutes right now. Yeah, like I said, that was NBA's debut on Amazon. So we got the NBC debut Tuesday. Last night was great. I would argue that was better than the NBC one. I didn't think the NBC one was bad. And they were remote. I don't think they're going to be remote all the time. NBA Amazon was great, man. The LED on court, play display. I'm always iffy on when they do stuff like that because you're really not teaching me anything. I can't get the full, but it looked great. I think it's a great crew. My only beef with these studio shows across all sports. Just 3 people. Just have 3 people. I wish I had their names, but the 3 ladies who do women's basketball on ESPN, I'm so mad. I know it's Elle Duncan and Agumake. I cannot remember the other good name. I'm so mad I can't remember their name. They're the 3 best in sports right now at calling sports. I wish I had their names. Maybe I'll try to put their pictures up. I'm so mad I don't have their names, but they're the best because it's one of the main reasons the best because I think they really hang out with each other and like each other. But it's just 3 of them. You're on TV with commercials. The Fox football pregame show on Fox in the morning that come on at 12:30, they're trolling us. They have 7 people up there. How can 7 people have 10, 15 seconds apiece to talk? It's ridiculous. It's terrible to watch. I don't know why they like it. It seems more expensive. I just don't get it. It's bad. It looks bad. I want to know the person who's a real sports fan that watches that stuff and enjoys it. I really want to know, or gains anything from it, learns anything ever from watching any of those shows. The only one that's been worth watching is Inside the NBA. And then, like I said, the 3 women that do women's basketball for ESPN, but on the NBA Amazon show, it's 5 of them sitting up there. It's Taylor Rooks, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, Blake Griffin, and Udonis Haslem. I would just like it if it was Taylor Rooks, Blake Griffin, and Udonis Haslem. It would just be better like that. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I love Steve Nash and Dirk. Maybe they could be like the B crew, because I know y'all gotta have a B crew. Can Steve Nash can't call games? I just don't like 5 people up there. I was watching it and I watched both halftime shows. I'm just like, it would just be better if it was 2 less people up there. And I think those 3 would be great. Taylor Rooks is really good. She's getting better and better and better. I was hard on her early, you know what I mean? Because they got rid of Rachel Nichols. You got to keep remembering that. The NBA got rid of Rachel Nichols. And, excuse me, and I'm kind of still not forgiving them for that because it's not personal. I obviously don't know her personally. I just don't think Malika Andrews is good. I just don't. So I'm rooting for Taylor Rooks. I'm really rooting for Taylor Rooks. Not in spite. I'm not rooting against black women. I'm just, I just want to watch good content, man. I just want stuff to be good. It shouldn't be 5 people up there rushing to get a point out. But overall, the broadcast was really good. It was really good. I thought the in-game crew for Amazon, their in-game crew, Cassidy Hubbard, Ian Eagle, Stan Van Gundy. Great. Okay, Stan Van Gundy always looks weird. Like, they might need to stop showing him. He just not that he's ugly or nothing. He just looks weird. He's just always like doing weird stuff with his head. His hair be looking weird. But great at talking basketball. Cassidy Hubbard's one of the most underrated people over the last decade. She's just underrated. She's really underrated. I'm glad she should shine this year on the Zon is what I call it. Let me get into the games, man. Let me start off talking about Wemby, first of all, because I didn't talk. I posted an episode Wednesday, but I haven't recorded since Wednesday. Wemby, man. That's the team he's not supposed to do that against, the Dallas Mavericks. That's the player he's not supposed to do that against. Even if he plays great against Anthony Davis, he's not supposed to go through him and around him and above him like that. He's not supposed to do that to AD. Joker, even because Joker dominated AD every time they played in the playoffs. That's Joker versus AD is my era's Akeem Olajuwon versus David Robinson, where he just destroyed him. Like Joker did that to AD, but he wasn't going through AD. Remember, Joker was hitting like Dirk Nowitzki shots. He was hitting some of the craziest shots. Wemby was going through Anthony Davis, through him. That play sequence he had when he blocked, I believe it was Derek Lively's jump hook or his floater, whatever it was. He blocked it with his wrist, pretty much. He blocked it with his wrist. It hit the ground so hard, bounced up high. He gets it. He's dribbling down court. He goes into the paint, but then decides, I want to take a 3. Does every dribble move, almost does the sham god. He's 7'5", He could do the sham god. He can do the sham god easily, smoothly. He dribbles below his waist. He's 7'5". After he blocks a shot with his wrist, dribble down the court, takes a step back three, that show me somebody else doing that before in basketball, high school, college. Just show me somebody doing that before. Show me. I've never seen that play sequence before from an NBA player, from a basketball player in general. I've never seen that before. That was ridiculous. I've seen the craziest Wilt Chamberlain highlights. Okay, I've seen them. That was nuts, man. That was like, I mean, I was losing my mind. That game was the same reaction that I remember when Steph Curry had his coming out party in Madison Square Garden. That was the same vibe. It was like, what are you doing? Stop what you're doing. Turn to this game right now. He's putting together a highlight tape you've never seen before. It was the same with Steph. Steph in that game in Madison Square Garden when he had 54 points, I had never seen a basketball player just keep pulling up from that deep before like that. And teams trying to stop him from doing it. Never seen it before. Like in high school, you see it. It was just crazy to see in the NBA, man. But one thing I want to say, let me go back to the Amazon thing real quick, to the broadcast. Your multi-view sucks, Amazon. It sucks. You got to get good. YouTube TVs is way better. An actual multi-view 4-box is where I could see each game the same size equally. It's not just one game and then 3 other to the side. And then when I click that game, I was watching the game on my iPad. Maybe the multi-view is different when you do it because I have my Apple TV. Maybe it's different on there. Maybe toggling is a little different through there. But when I would do the multi-view on my iPad, let's say I'm watching the Spurs and Pelicans game, but I got the Rockets Piston game right here. I want to click that game. Cool, let me make it bigger. When I make it bigger, but then I want to go back to the Spurs Pelicans game, I have to remake my whole multi-view 4-box. It's trash. It pissed me off like 10 times yesterday. I almost had to pop out the second iPad. I'm like, this is annoying. But back to basketball. So the Wemby game was just crazy. And my dad asked me this. My stepdad asked me this. Will there be another American MVP? Who's going to be the face of the NBA? That type of talk. I really don't care. Me personally, I don't care. I'm more worried about that in like Hollywood. Like, why don't we have any more great born and raised American actors and actresses that are stars? Like, legit, not just good, not just like they're good. Like, you could put them in a movie and the movie is a blockbuster hit and they're a star. We don't have, I'm more worried about that. The NBA is in a great place. It's not like, listen, man, the Euros, the dudes from overseas got a different mentality than these American dudes. These American kids now, especially the ones we making now, these dudes is millionaires in high school. By the time they get to the NBA and get to their second contract, they lose the fire a little bit. Giannis, Joker, even SGA, like they just have a different mentality, man. It's just a little different. I don't really care if Wemby has to be the face of the NBA. I really don't. It doesn't bother me. It really don't. Golden State. Golden State, they obviously they beat the Lakers on Tuesday, and then they beat the Nuggets Thursday night. You know, and Steph had 42. I just still don't believe in the Warriors. I'm just not gonna believe in them. I just still think they're too old, and they're not playing Al Horford back-to-backs, but they're gonna be relying on Al Horford. I'm just not going with them. I'm not gonna dwell on them too much. Last night, the Bucks and the Raptors game, the Bucks ended up winning 122-116. Giannis had a 30-20 game. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that this morning. Nobody's talking about Giannis's 30, 20, and 7 game. He dominated both ends of the court, and nobody's talking about it. The Celtics and the Knicks, I'm gonna finish with that. Pistons and the Rockets. The first note I had was I was watching it. KD had a good game, but I didn't watch a lot of this game because I couldn't. But KD looked a little old. Like that was the oldest I kind of seen him look in that first half. Like he was like when he's falling down, he's just getting up slower. It's obvious. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just something I wrote. And there was a altercation in the Pistons Rockets game. Not a shocker. Two testy teams. These are two teams that always try to fight people. But the Thompson twins both got into an altercation separately. Obviously, it was Asur on the Pistons getting into it with Jabari Smith on the Rockets, and there was another time where Amin Thompson got into it with Jalen Duren. And I was thinking, I was like, yo, what if, because Amin Thompson and Azur Thompson are twins, they play on different teams. So I'm like, yo, what if a fight happens? Like, what if Azor see our men get punched in the face by Jalen Duren. Like, isn't his natural reaction to fight his teammate? Like, he got to punch Jalen Duren in the face. You're not hitting my twin brother. That's just a crazy dynamic. But that happened, and and Jalen Duren is like, he looks huge. He's huge. Like, he need to lose some weight. He's like not fat. He's like the Rock and the Smash Machine big. Like, he's big. The Hawks and the Magic. I'm actually going to the Hawks game tonight, so I will have Hawks thoughts. Because I was disappointed in the Hawks. Oh, I didn't watch none of the opening night game with them. But don't get smacked on your home court opening night against a team that didn't make the playoffs last year. And you got all that hype going into the offseason. My whole thing with the Hawks, and I thought they should be better just because Jalen Johnson was coming back. That's the main reason, not because of Porzingis. Like, people talking about Porzingis going to the Hawks, it's like people just be talking. Did you watch basketball? Did you watch Porzingis barely play last year? And then when he came back, he got a disease that they just diagnosed as POTS disease. Like, I don't even know the acronym, but it was a disease that, like, it raises and lowers your heart rate without, like, on a whim. Like, it could, if you stand up and walk to the bathroom, you could just it sounds like you just ran a marathon, and it could do the opposite too. Some weird disease. But I got some weird notification popping up. Roll with me. All right. But yeah, like, I just don't get why people think Porzingis is going to be I'm not saying he's not going to be a factor, but if you're relying on him, that's bad. And again, I don't think Okongwu was hyped when the Porzingis trade happened. I don't think he was like, great, a guy who's more valuable than me. You know what I mean? And I don't think Porzingis played last night. The Hawks played the Magic. I didn't really watch it, but I know the Hawks ended up winning, but I don't know why people think Porzingis is going to be like Game 6, Knicks versus Celtics. He came into the game. He started playing, and his nose just started bleeding like the Invisible Girl from the Fantastic Four. His nose just started bleeding. Nobody hit him. He ran up and down a few times, and his nose just started bleeding. And Hawks fans traded for him in the offseason. They're like, yeah, Porzingis. Did y'all watch the playoffs, Hawks fans? Spurs and the Pelicans. I do want to talk about this. Real quick before I get to that. The Blazers beat the Warriors. The Blazers, after their head coach got indicted with the Gambino crime family for fixing poker games, they beat the Warriors, who people were picking to go to the finals. I'm just not going to believe in the Warriors, but shout out to the Blazers for pulling through. I bet you that game wasn't fixed, right? Spurs and the Pelicans. Wemby is just must watch. I mean, Wemby is the number one option this season, especially with the Celtics looking how they looking so far. Wemby's like about to be my guy. I'm about to wear my jersey. I should have wore it. I don't know why I should have put it on, man. I wore the Celtic hoodie. I don't know why I'm wearing this. I should have worn my Wemby jersey, but very early in the game, not even a minute in, Zion dunks on Wemby in this game. He dunked on Wemby, but he dunked on Wemby fair and square. I'm not going to say it was not a real dunk, but Wemby was getting held by his hips. I forgot what guard it was, but when Wemby was trying to recover and get back to the basket, his hips were getting held, and they kind of slowed him down a little bit, so he recovered late and got dunked on. 2 possessions later, Wemby blocked Zion's shot twice in the same possession, and then the very next possession, he blocks his shot again. He blocked his shot 3 times in 2 minutes. If you dunk on somebody, but then they block your shot 3 times in 2 minutes, doesn't that negate the dunk on? Like, you didn't dunk on me no more. You can't talk about it no more. Now we even, right? That was crazy. The Luke Cornett, who the Celtics should have maxed out. I mean, Jesus Christ, the Celtics should have gave him everything. I mean, he should be the highest paid player on the Celtics. But that Luke Cornett and Victor Wembanyama lineup is going to be scary. Like, those Western Conference, those 3 Texas teams, that Texas Triangle, they're stupid. They're stupid big. That Luke Cornett Wemby lineup is going to be, I think, the most deadly big man duo in the league. I'm dead serious. Even more than Hartenstein and Chet. Just because how good Wemby is, and Luke Cornett is really effective. He was really good last night, man. Let me pull up Cornett's numbers real quick. I think at one point he was like 5 for 5, and they were like all wide open because Wemby's out there with him. And he's a good passer, Luke Cornett. You know what I'm saying? Luke Cornett was 6 for 9, had 12 rebounds. He had 14 points and only 1 foul. He wasn't even in foul trouble. He played 35 minutes with 1 foul. That's super. If you're a big man and you can play 35 minutes and only get 1 foul, that's big, man. But I think that lineup's going to be scary. Wemby ended up with 9 blocks. He almost got the 10th block, but then got his 6th foul and ended up fouling out. Played like 32 minutes. They were denying him walking up the court. Like, he wasn't even past half court, and they was trying to deny him the ball. Like, and he didn't even have a good game. He had 29 points and 9 blocks. That wasn't a good game for him. He was missing open shot. He's must watch. He's must watch, and him and Luka might be battling for MVP. And that's what I'm gonna go to next. I'm trying to think: do I want to go to Minnesota Lakers and then do the Celtics last, or do I want to do Celtics now and then finish positive with Luka? Because I hate the Lakers, so I don't. It's just both negative for me, honestly. I'll start with Minnesota Lakers. Because it's quick and simple. I've been going about 40 minutes. I don't want to go too much longer. Gotta go to that Hawks game in a minute. Luka beat the Timberwolves by himself. And Julius Randle and Ant-Man had a really good game. Like, Julius was really good, man. Julius had 26 and 9, but he was just attacking. He had 6 assists too. No fouls. He was really attacking. Ant-Man had 31 points. They didn't even look bad even. Like, early on in the game, it looked like Minnesota was going to put up like 140 on them because the Lakers' defense is bad. But it's almost like Luka's so dominant offensively that it threw Minnesota off some of the shots Luka was hitting, and it didn't look hard. And they tried to guard Luka in every way, and this is what make Luka so dangerous. This will make the best version of LeBron so dangerous. This is why Joker's the best player in the league. They're perfect passers. They make the right decision every time. They make perfect, accurate decisions every time. So Luka's like, please double team me. Please, because then my team is going to be unbeatable now. So Minnesota kind of let Luka go off, and he had 49 points. He had 32 at halftime. Like, he was beating them by himself, man. I know Austin Reeves had his little thing. He had 25 points, 11 assists. He had a real good game, but Luka was just killing. I mean, they couldn't do anything with him. They couldn't do anything with Luka. Luka was destroying Jaden McDaniels, killing him. I mean, that's one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, and Ant-Man, killing both of them, man. That Laker team, I still think Minnesota is obviously the better team, and I think Minnesota is, and that's what made that Luka performance so crazy last night. I think Minnesota is like low-key a contender, and Luka just destroyed them. You know what I mean? I just don't think that Laker team is that good. Like, there was a time when Luka had to leave the first half early, and I was like, man, if he got to miss like 2 weeks and LeBron's not playing, they're gonna lose like every game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that team's that good, man. And yeah, that's it for that. The Boston Celtics, man. I almost don't even want to talk about this. I really don't. I'm in a good mood. I said it's a beautiful day. It's no clouds in the sky. It's 70 degrees. It's a nice breeze, man. I don't want to talk about Boston, man. Like, that was disgusting. That made me angry to watch. I hate losing to the Knicks. I hate it. Especially because I talk to Knicks fans, born and raised New York City Knicks fans every day. They're annoying. They're insufferable. They're disrespectful. They're annoying. They're annoying. They're annoying. They never stop. They don't care. They don't care if your team is missing everybody. Your team they could have bought the G League team up. If the Knicks beat you by a half point, they're going to act like they beat you by 40, and you have Michael Jordan and Kobe on your team, man. Like, they don't care, man. And last night was just bad, man. Honestly, I don't want to get too dramatic. It wasn't bad in terms of the actual result. Celtics lost by 10 points. And honestly, I'll talk about the Knicks first. I'm kind of still iffy on the Knicks. Obviously, in my preview, I picked them to win the chip. But those quotes the last week leading up to the season was really weird. And their offense last night against us kind of looked like how it looked last year. It didn't look that much different when it came down to it. Like, it was kind of Brunson and Cat beating us, really. I was kind of confused at why they didn't bring Jordan Clarkson off the bench first. They brought Josh Hart off first, which is cool, but they didn't even bring Jordan Clarkson off second. They brought a Collect before him. And as a Celtic fan, I'm sitting there like, please don't put Brunson and Clarkson there at the same time where they could both just attack the Celtics. They could both attack Pritchard and Anthony Simons, who were on the court at the same time, I think, at one point. Like, that Clarkson and Brunson lineup is a lineup that put the Knicks up by double digits in the second half. I think that's something they're going to figure out. Honestly, let me tell you one lineup that would scare me as a Celtic fan. It's not a super effective lineup on both ends, but it could scare a team like me. Scare a team like me. I'm talking like that's my team. It could scare a team like the Celtics if they have Jordan Clarkson, who's like 6'3", Brunson and McBride, a small three-guard lineup like the old Clippers teams used to do. That they would kill the Celtics if they did that. They would kill the Celtics because Jaylen Brown talks about it a lot, and I love Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna get a little Jaylen Brown negative here. I love Jaylen Brown. He's from Atlanta. He went to Wheeler High School. I remember watching like on my laptop. I remember watching when he won state. I think they played against Tift County in 2015. He hit the final 2 free throws to beat Tift County. I remember he was crying after the game. I remember watching him at Cal, staying up to 11 o'clock to watch him play these Pac-12 schools and these meaningless games, you know what I mean? But, then he came to my team. And it's been a roller coaster with him at first. He was in a weird situation coming to the team. And, he comes to the team in 2016, and then Tatum gets drafted the next year. And people are loving and gushing over Tatum. Tatum's getting more burn than him. Tatum's getting the ball more than him. And then we also have Gordon Hayward and Kyrie over here, and Marcus Morris, Al Horford. Like, Jaylen Brown was always trying to find his way. And obviously he built his way up to people when people be saying he's better than Jason Tatum. That's just not true. I don't care who's better. If Jaylen Brown was better than Tatum, I would say it. I don't care. But do y'all see that he's not better than Tatum? He had 7 turnovers last night. I don't know why. You could bet on everything. Like, they literally had gambling lines for what color dildo was going to get thrown on the court at the next WNBA game. You could bet on that on sports books. Not like official, like FanDuel, DraftKings Sportsbook, but people were betting on that and winning money and losing money on it. Why can't you bet on Jaylen Brown how many times is he going to dribble the ball off his foot? I would bet it every game over. I would just bet the over. He did it like 4 times last night. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I don't like it when he's hit or miss with the pick and rolls, man. Sometimes he make good decisions, but it's just really bad, man. He had a good stat line. He had 23 points. He was 9-18 from the field, but the Celtics have the worst center situation in the league. There's not a team. I pretty much went through every team. There's not a team. Every team I would rather have their centers. They're 2 or 3 best centers than ours. It's terrible. I'm not going to blame Brad Stevens. I understand the situation. I understand the second apron, the cap. I understand everything. We won the chip. We paid the price. We won the championship. It is just ridiculous to watch a team like Dallas or to watch teams like Portland when they got 3 or 4 centers on their team. It's just like Kata was just getting killed yesterday. He was like Luke Cornett, please, man. Like, what do we got to do to get him back? What we got to do, man? Like, that was just really bad to watch. I mean, the Knicks were just killing us on the board. They're already a good rebounding team. But, like, what is Wemby going to do against the Celtics? He might have 60 points against the Celtics. The Celtics have no way to guard Victor Wembanyama. They have nothing for him. Victor Wembanyama will get kicked. Nemus, I don't want to be mean to him. Might be a great dude. He was on that G League Amazon show. I'm not going to kill him. Nemus Kata, Wemby might get you kicked out the league. Wemby might destroy you so bad you might get put out the league, bro. Like, that's how bad you look last night, dog. Like, it was just bad. And another thing I'll say, and I'll be done, man. Peyton Pritchard is a little disappointing so far to start first 2 games of the season. That's somebody who I was betting on to, like, be, like, kind of a flamethrower, especially to start. You know what I mean? I thought he would just be shooting, like, 20 times a game. Honestly, I thought he would be shooting the second most on the game behind Jaylen. And he's kind of been, like, it's almost like he has too much, like, more responsibility. Obviously, he has more responsibility now. He's bringing the ball up way more now. And but he's not even, like, being, like, a facilitator either. So he's just a little weird right now for me. That's it. That's all I got. Celtics, man. Please get a center. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't even know if it's worth trading for a center. I don't know if we got enough to trade for a center. Maybe we trade Simons for a center. I don't know. I don't know if it's even worth it. But that's it. I'm going to the Hawks game tonight. The Hawks play OKC. Hawks play the best team in the league. It seems like everybody's playing. Not everybody, but I really want to know how weird I am. I'm going to see Cason Wallace. I want to watch Cason Wallace. It says he's a game time decision, but I kind of want to see him play. And they said Chet was a game time decision, but nonetheless, I get to see SGA. I get to see Trae Young. I want to see how this Hawks team look. It's the best team in the league, so it's definitely a test. That's it. That's another. Again, this is not an episode. I still don't know. Like I'm gonna title this NBA Ramble. But I still don't know what I'm doing yet. I just like doing this. It's really fun recording. It's so fun to record. That's it, man. I don't know if I'll record something tonight. I'll definitely record something after the Sunday games for the NFL. Week 8, right? We in week 8. Look how quick the season going by, man. We already like almost halfway through, man. It's crazy. The World Series, the Blue Jays did the same thing that the Dodgers did to the Yankees last year. They had a 9-run, 6-inning. The Blue Jays on the Dodgers. Love to see it, but I also hate the Blue Jays as a Yankee fan. So, that's it. That's been another episode of the Broken Clock Podcast, NBA Ramble. Peace.